The probate file is thicker than the others. Twine still wrapped around it. Dust pressed into the folds. Stamped across the front in faded ink, Estate of William H. Carter, value $100,000. For 1858, that number is unusual. Too large for this county. Too large for one man. Inside the folder, papers shift like dry leaves. Land deeds, mule inventories, cotton tallies. Then, a single sheet that doesn't belong. A marriage license. Dated 6 months after Carter's death. Bride, Margaret Carter, widow. Groom. A pause. The clerk wrote slowly, Josiah Carter. No title. No colored. No servant. Just the surname. The same as the dead man. But earlier pages in the same file list him differently. Josiah, male, age 29, field hand, value $900. Property. The handwriting matches. Same clerk. Same year. In January, he is valued beside livestock. In July, he is signing his name. Something changed, or something was allowed to change. At the back of the folder, a coroner's note. Brief. 3 lines. Gunshot wound to the chest. Found near the north fence. Weapon recovered. No suspect named. No charges listed. Case closed within a day. The paper smells faintly of mildew. Handled often. Folded and unfolded. As if someone kept checking the details. Today we're looking at the quiet history of Josiah. An enslaved man listed as property 1 month. And husband the next. A death in between. A fortune at stake. And records that never quite agree with each other.
Carter Plantation sat 10 miles outside Augusta. Flat land, red clay, rows of cotton broken only by a white 2-story house. 32 enslaved people recorded in the 1857 ledger. Names written in tight script. Elias, Ruth, Daniel, 3 children unnamed. Then, Josiah, age 29, occupation, driver. He managed the field crews, carried a small notebook, tracked hours, reported directly to Carter, closer to the house than the others, trusted but not free. His value is written in the margin, $900, higher than most. Next to his name are extra notes. Literate, handles accounts, useful indoors. Sometimes he signed deliveries when Carter traveled. The signature is neat, careful. Letters learned somewhere. No one wrote how. Inside the main house, Carter kept an office. Mahogany desk. Brass lock. Stacks of invoices tied with string. Josiah was often seen there at night, copying numbers, balancing totals. Visitors mentioned it casually. The Negro who keeps books for him. The cook said he slept little. Lamp burning past midnight. Paper scratching. Outside, life stayed routine. Harvests, punishments, births recorded without surnames. Carter was known as strict but organized. Everything documented, everything valued. He liked numbers, property totals, market prices, insurance forms, even people reduced to columns, which is why something later feels strange. Because when a man like that dies, there should be pages of explanation, reports, witnesses, statements. Instead, the record thins out, becomes quiet, as if the accounting stopped.
The day Carter died was clear. Cold air. January light. According to one field hand's statement, he heard a single crack. Not loud,
just sharp, like a board splitting. Carter was found near the north fence line, coat still buttoned, hat on the ground, pocket watch broken. The coroner arrived by wagon, wrote quickly, gunshot wound, close range. No struggle noted. No footprints mentioned. Strange for damp soil. Josiah's name appears only once that day. In a supply receipt, time-stamped late afternoon, meaning he was in the storehouse when the body was discovered, at least on paper. Witnesses later contradicted each other. One said Josiah ran toward the fields. Another said he stayed near the barn. Nothing firm. But something else stands out. No trial. No arrest. No public inquiry. For a planter worth $100,000, that's unusual. Very unusual. Neighbors wrote letters. Short ones. Matter handled privately. Family wishes no disturbance. Handled by whom? Decided by whom? No one says. 3 weeks later, Josiah's name moves from the property ledger to the payroll sheet. Paid wages. Small ones. But wages. Then a new entry. Assistant to Mrs. Carter. Closer to the house again. Closer than before. At church, people began to whisper. Not loudly. Just glances. Because the widow kept him nearby. Always nearby. And in small towns, proximity becomes rumor. Rumor becomes suspicion. And suspicion becomes paper trails. If anyone bothers to write them down.
Decades later, the courthouse basement flooded. Boxes moved upstairs. Clerks dried documents on tables. That's when the inconsistencies surfaced. 2 ledgers. Same year. Different handwriting. In the first, Josiah is listed under assets. In the second, under household staff. Dates overlap. Impossible. Then the insurance file. Carter's life insured for $100,000. Policy paid in full. Beneficiary, Margaret Carter. Payment issued 14 days after death. Fast. Faster than most claims. Attached is a sworn statement. Signed by 2 neighbors. Both business partners. Neither present at the shooting. Convenient. Further inside the box, a folded letter. Unsent. Margaret's handwriting. I cannot manage the fields without him. He knows the books better than William ever did. No name written. Just him. Pinned to it, a small receipt. Purchase of a revolver. 6 months earlier. Signed I. Carter. Stored in the house, not the fields. The coroner said the weapon was found nearby. But no inventory shows it missing. Small details. Small gaps. But they add up. Then the marriage license appears. Clean. Proper. Witnessed by the same 2 neighbors. Again. Always the same names. The same signatures repeating like stamps. By summer, Josiah's name is on deeds. Land transferred quietly. 10 acres. Then 15. Tax records show him paying. Not working. Paying.
Something had shifted. Not loudly. Not legally explained. Just lines moving from one column to another. From property to owner.
By 1870, the census lists him differently. Josiah Carter. Occupation: farmer. Property value: $42,000. Later tax rolls climb higher. Higher still. Neighbors begin calling him Mr. Carter. Reluctantly, but officially. The widow stops attending town events, sells part of the house, keeps to herself. 2 names on the mailbox. Nothing written about the marriage in newspapers. No announcements. No photographs. Just paperwork. Quiet paperwork. When Margaret dies, everything passes to him. Land. Livestock. Savings bonds. The former field hands now rent plots from him. Some call him fair. Some avoid him. No one speaks openly about the past, because the past doesn't fit cleanly. An enslaved man. A dead master. A widow. A fortune. And no trial. No charges. Just paperwork. Rearranged. Titles adjusted. Ink correcting reality. Years later, Josiah's obituary appears in a corner column. Local landowner passes peacefully. No mention of how he started life. No mention of Carter. No mention of the gunshot. History reduced to one sentence. But the old ledgers remain. Dusty. Warped. Smelling of damp paper. If you flip back far enough, you find him again. Value: $900. Property. And then pages later, husband. Owner. Wealthy. The same man. Same handwriting. Different labels. Proof that sometimes the most unsettling changes in history aren't recorded with violence, just with a clerk's pen, moving a name from one column to another.